a podcast created by two guys brought together by movement, transformed into brotherhood. The boys share their authenticity as they deep dive into what it means to explore this human experience, shedding light on personal trials and accumulated wisdom. Conscious Collingwood is meant to provoke thought and insight to expand your personal awareness. Come along for the journey as Justin and Jeff exemplify what it means to be a man living wholeheartedly, balancing the divine, masculine, and feminine. Welcome to Conscious Collingwood.
God, what's this all mean, Justin?
This means you start your day by running 12K up a mountain, and then you say to your buddy Jeff, you say, hey, I think we could move this behemoth of a couch down to my basement apartment, and it doesn't fit. Put a hole through the drywall, and then drive to your house, get a SIM card.
Because I forgot the SIM card.
You forgot the SIM card, and then you get here, and the mic receiver's dead.
Yeah. So
It's just a day.
well, what I'm hearing is just poor preparation
Yeah.
and heavy optimism.
Heavy optimism. That's a good way to put it. I'm an optimistic guy. So I'm just used to when someone says, like, I created a name for myself in construction because people be like, well, it's going to be really hard. I don't know if it can be done. And I said, there's a will, there's a way. And so maybe that's where the optimism.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be a yes guy too.
Yeah. But framing and constructing something might be different than mathematical angles of things not being able to fit around tight corners and
Yeah, that's true.
But hey, we got a fun story now.
Yeah.
And Dan was there to bring some levity to the situation.
Yeah. Thank God he was.
What a goof. Yeah. Fucking there's a big hole in your drywall.
So I lived in Kitchener. I lived in this house that had 3 floors. Not that much space. So it was an old, century home wartime home, where you walk in the front door and then it goes right up a set of stairs, angle to the 2nd floor. And we had a long couch at the time. So I just I used a skill saw and I made it wrap like an accordion. I just some of the bracing and was able to bend the couch. Now, don't get me wrong, the couch was never the same.
No.
But it worked.
I love the ingenuity.
Yeah.
Good for you. Well, that's how that couch would have come out of your basement too, but it actually got down there. You would have had to take a sawzall to it to get it out.
Yeah.
Because, yeah.
Maybe you should have.
Yeah, that would have been fun.
Well, thanks. Thanks for being a friend.
Wasn't meant to be.
Yeah. So, actually, tried instead of said no.
Yeah. And there's evidence that we tried too.
Yep, put a hole in the ground.
You don't have to lie that you didn't try.
Yep. You know what? Actually, I love those opportunities just to laugh with your friends.
That's what it was. Yeah.
It was good.
Oh.
All right. We had a powerful men's group this week.
We did.
It's funny. I actually heard a lot of the men. We've been in this for 2 years. Year?
No, it'll be 2. This circle, there's a couple new faces that have been around for a couple sessions, but yeah.
But I think we've all had the thought that maybe we won't come back.
Mm-hmm.
There have been seasons where you're just like,
Gucci, I got this.
Yeah,
I figured it out.
Well, life is busy.
Yeah.
This is a fucking hour out of my day, and it can put
stress on your schedule.
Stress on your schedule. So it's easy to just say like, fuck, this is a little bit too much, and not prioritize men's group. And I would say that now that we're 2 years in, we're really gaining momentum in the potential of like open, like honesty and realness, and which allows, you know, for greater work to be done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
And we had Circle throughout the summer, but it was bi-weekly, and even at that, it was hit and miss for most guys. So it really, I wouldn't even say it was anything. It was pretty much dissolved on pause for the summer. And then so this one being the first week of the official new season, yeah, there was lots of beautiful shares and a few things that gentlemen are dealing with. And
yeah, the prompt was, tell us something that we don't know about you. And, you know, there's 3 months left in the year. What do you want to do in those 3 months? What do you want to achieve for yourself? Yeah, so it was awesome.
mm-hmm.
It's a great prompt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it is crazy, you know, because yeah, summer's busy if you have children and stuff. Even if you don't, summer's a bit of a blur because the weather's only so good for so long. So you're trying to maximize, you know, outdoor activities and travel and rest and relaxation. And then yes, if you do have a family and kids go back to school, it does feel like you're getting some time back. And so now it's like, yeah, in Q4 here, what are you going to do with these 3 months leading up to the end of the year, you know? And so, yeah, it was a really good prompt because it just, I don't even think about it that way, but being posed the question, it made me rethink, yeah, what can I accomplish or finalize in the next 3 months here to build momentum for the next year.
Yeah. And
really though, we shouldn't even really worry about a goddamn calendar because we should be wanting to do this every day anyway.
Yeah.
Not just have the pressure that 2025 is upon us.
Yeah.
But the calendar
dangling the carrot.
The calendar provides a good visual of your timeline.
Yeah.
What did you accomplish in these 12 months?
Yeah.
You know, keeping yourself accountable and stuff.
And keeping, I think that's also, you know, the key to men's group for it to be like truly successful is the consistency. And it is an opportunity to really like grow, you know. Conscious work doesn't stop once you have all the knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Wisdom is knowledge applied through, and you gain wisdom through experience. So if you learn all these tools and they think you got it in the bag, and then you don't really have that consistency in the sense like you don't have people. Having that group is almost like a sense of responsibility of like, fuck, you know,
mm-hmm.
if I falter or if I don't show up the way that, you know, I've spoken about, I gotta you gotta navigate that. You gotta explain yourself.
Yeah.
Hold you accountable.
Mm-hmm.
To your word. And if you look at Don Rigel Louise, the 4 Agreements,
yeah,
be impeccable with your word. That's one thing I'm really trying to own. Yeah.
Well, the single word there is integrity.
Integrity.
Living your life with integrity. What's your word worth? You know? Yeah. And some of us, depending on what the task is or the goal, yeah, sometimes that external accountability is helpful.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Big time. Yeah. You made a really good point there, I think in a voice note, about the bonds being built and the trust that is, we all have for each other, and I'm butchering this, but the point is, the more time we spend together, so we're 2 years in now, people are feeling very safe, so they're sharing more, which is allowing them to expand more. Like some of the stuff we've heard, you're not going to hear that in week 1 or even maybe year 1.
Yeah.
Because you're still learning to trust each other, and do we actually uphold the the laws of the circle? Like, are people actually, not telling stories outside of this? Is it somehow coming back to me? Like, can I really trust these guys? Mm-hmm. And then 2 years in, you're realizing, this is just like any other sort of, intimate relationship. And some of the stuff we're sharing, our significant others aren't going to know.
No.
Because it's not for them to know.
Yeah.
To some degree.
Well, yeah, maybe for some guys they're not ready for it. Personally, like I, entering a new relationship recently, 9 months in, I went in with, here are all my cards. As soon as I left my last relationship, I just showed all my cards to the closest people in my life, and I was like, love me, this is my reality, and I mean love me in the sense like, if you guys can fully accept who I am as a human being, these are all my cards. It's all the things that I've had in the shadow. And to be seen and accepted, that's a true form of love right there. So I personally have adopted that. But it's taken me 2 years to be open with the men's group. Mm-hmm. Because I want to make sure that those guys I'm a pretty comfortable guy just sharing, but I think seeing guys come back consistently also builds trust.
Yeah.
Like if a guy comes in for a season and then drops out, like I got questions.
Yeah.
I got questions, mister.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to add on that, but I also feel like you're being a little, I don't know, I feel like you've been pretty transparent with the circle.
Oh, I have. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing I shared recently was something that I didn't share with many.
Okay.
There was like 4 people. Yeah. 4 people that did.
Fair enough.
But it was lovely. What a weight. The weight that comes off your shoulders.
And because when you're hearing other guys share vulnerably and some heavy stuff, and you're holding back, if you have a heart and any integrity, you're like, I'm living a lie right now because I'm not answering the prompt or sharing transparently. Yeah. Because this is what's actually showing up for me, but I'm too afraid to say it. I know I've been there.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't want to say this right now. But then you get motivated and inspired by others because they're sharing. You're like, okay, well, there will be no judgment if I share this, but I get what you're saying there for sure.
I've always been comfortable to lead in vulnerability in men's group.
Yeah, I've recognized that. First one to speak sometimes. Break the ice, get it out there. Sometimes I don't speak first though, because then I have to sit the whole time and listen, which is fine. But sometimes, but also I think intuitively, if you're feeling that in the circle, if you should share first or not. For some reason, and you'll see it around, because it usually changes and rotates. But I think in the energy of the circle, there's a call to one person to kick things off, Yeah. Because most time the synergy that does come out of the circle, it's like you couldn't script the flow of it any better. Because this share prompted that share, and who knows if this person doesn't share, maybe that doesn't come out right. And so it's pretty good. But on the topic of trust, like I know I was still new to Everlove, and Dan got me into the circle, and I can't remember if I shared this with him, but like I was getting triggered by people not showing up.
Yeah.
And my core values of character, loyalty. Sense of responsibility, integrity, all those similar type words. I would get triggered because it's like you want us to share and do exactly what you're talking about, Justin. And these guys aren't taking this seriously. I ain't fucking coming here every Tuesday to do this.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
And I had to remember that. Well, I had to reframe it and say, okay, so if 1 or 2 guys aren't participating fully, well, let's make sure we give credit to the other ones that are showing up. And that's, I wouldn't say good enough, but that is fulfilling. It should be fulfilling enough that we're able to support. And then maybe those two get fired or they don't get welcome. Like, that can happen too, because, you know, you got to protect the interest of what that circle is, you know?
Yeah.
And most guys that have been around obviously come back and whatever else. But in the early stages, little Jeffrey I would get upset, you know? Just like, what? This is when this is supposed to be.
Yeah.
And because, you know, guys are in town. Like, if you're traveling for work and business or or you get sick, whatever. We that's understandably. But if you're in the vicinity of the area,
oh fucker,
and you're not participating and carving out an hour to do this, no bueno.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's when we do our hazing. Just kidding.
Yeah. Oh, mercy.
Pin the tail on the asshole that didn't show up.
Yeah. And it's not a pin.
Stop. Fuck, dude.
It's inserted.
Way to scare everybody.
Yeah.
Way to scare all dudes away from men's group. Fuck.
Oh, mercy.
No, it is good work. It's good work.
Yeah.
What I've learned is just it's consistency and time.
Yeah. I'm gonna write a note because I just prompt. I'll forget. But
that's not a note. That's a drawing.
my calligraphy. I feel like I'd be a similar person if I hadn't started Circle, but I think the friendships that have been created from this have changed me.
The relationship.
And I think it's really fun that in the balance of our circle, you have, you know, some young guns, but then you also have some elders. Wow. And I feel like I fall somewhere in the middle of the generations. Mm-hmm. And yeah, the level of different perspectives we're able to get is pretty cool.
I feel very lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got some wise sages, just men with some life experience that, you know, wanted to deepen their consciousness, because there aren't a lot of gentlemen in their 70s seeking conscious conversations and vulnerability and opening up about their life, you know.
And super transparent. He's a goddamn angel.
Fucking sick. You can, the heart.
Yeah.
You know? The heart.
Yeah.
And then you really realize, like, fuck, could you imagine if he had the opportunity to grow in this way when he was younger? And who he'd be.
Fucking Tony Robbins. Like,
you might be Tony Robbins by the end of this.
Yeah, you never know.
By 70.
But I, you know, a similar person, but how much pain and turbulence might have saved himself, right? Yeah. Like, still might have been so successful from a business standpoint. His family flourishes that much more, right? It's just, I even look at myself with, thank God I've started doing some of this at, you know, when I was, I guess it would have been around 33 or so. But at the same time, it's your path. Like, you just, you know, you start unraveling it now so you can appreciate life more now.
Yeah.
For what it is, right?
God, that's
so
cool.
Fascinating. And who knows, maybe we're putting some word, I'm at least potentially putting some words in his mouth, but maybe you just appreciate all this work more now at this age than you would have 20 years ago or something, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're at a stage where deepening your sense of connection to yourself is more socially acceptable, and wanting to have deeper, more vulnerable conversations instead of, how's work? What do you think about the Steelers? You know,
fuck the Steelers. It's Dallas.
Yeah, whatever. Like, Jesus Christ.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah. I noticed that I always gravitated towards women. Maybe it was because I grew up with a single mom, but maybe it was just because I'm more of an emotional guy, and I like the deeper conversations on feeling.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's funny when I was growing up too as a teenager. Like I think I mentioned this before, but I played golf with guys that were Christ 30 years older than me. They're in their 40s and 50s, if not 60s. And I'd play them for money and stuff and the skins games and whatever else. And I did it for the competition and the fun, but it was also just maybe it was looking up to elders. Like, it's okay to be immature and stuff like that, but like it never really stimulated me to hang around people my age and fuck around and whatever else. Like I went to work pretty much 7 days a week, all summer long. Yeah, I don't think I ever really had any days off in the summer, for Christ's sakes. It was just work, 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 golf, golf, golf. And those Wednesday nights and the Saturday and Sunday mornings with those guys were just, I was a sponge just taking in some information I probably shouldn't have heard when I was 15, some of the stories and other shit. But still, it was like I was witnessing and hearing life experience, whether it was good or bad.
Yeah.
Some of these guys were a little, maybe a little suspect, maybe some delinquencies in what was going on, but it was experience I was absorbing. Yeah. And I've got a plaque out there because the tables that we have here at the golf club were harvested from some black walnut trees from Duntroon, and I take a moment to share my appreciation for my time spent on that property and all the lessons learned and all the stuff, because it's really shaped who I was.
Yeah, we even reminisced about it in the truck today.
Yeah.
I love dark walnut. Yeah. That's a good wood to work with right here. It really is.
Yeah. I was thinking there too, I wonder how long this group of guys goes on for. Can you imagine we hit year 5? Like there's gonna have to be a trip or some goddamn thing involved.
For sure.
Like some sort of boys trip or a weekend away or something, because it's like, can you imagine being with this group of guys almost every week for 5 years?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It would have to be a growth-minded trip. I'm sure we'll do little trips.
Not strippers and
there's just debauchery. Obviously,
yeah.
Definitely not strippers. But something fun. Yeah. Camping. I can see camping. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
A little bit of debauchery is fun.
Yeah, but I was thinking that we were talking about the duration of how far we've come already, and it's like, wow, hit that milestone. Something. And everyone would be into it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think it's been fun to witness too is the level of growth from everybody, but for sure a couple key individuals, and they've been on their path for a little while here, and then super conscious maybe a shorter period of time, and just experiencing their growth in a year or two. You're like, holy shit, like they're a different person. Yeah.
One of the things that motivates me to share and to be as honest as possible is like, I'm writing my story. And I've been thinking about that a lot lately. Like, what do I want my fucking rise to the top to look like?
Mm-hmm.
If it was a story, I would share honestly, and yeah, it would be epic. So how do you make it epic?
Yeah. Our friend Daniel there was just on a podcast recently, and I ended up completing the whole thing. And he did a really good job. He speaks he's a great storyteller. And he was sharing the story of, the evolution of Everlove and how it all came together, and how him and Ari were, I guess it was at a retreat. Well, just through time, it started to come together. But the topic of, creating two high dreams. Get maybe one that's a little more practical, a little more responsible, and then one that's just kind of irrational and like, let's shoot for the stars sort of thing. And when I was listening to him on the podcast, I was just like, talk about manifesting. Like it's just a byproduct of your thoughts and actions. And what you, Dan and Ari, and Everlove as a community have created in 2 years is fucking crazy. It really is. Moving up to an area that you know nobody, and I don't know if men's circles and men's work was in the cards when talking about a yoga studio, health and wellness facility, but it's a byproduct of it all. And isn't that a unique blessing? Just came out of nowhere. Just a side shoot, a tillering effect of.
Fuck yeah. It's crazy, honestly. Yeah, mind blowing. It's good to reflect back on.
I still remember the day he asked me. I was in the foyer at Everlove. I don't even know this guy.
Yeah.
I think I'd only done a handful of yoga classes because I was brand new.
Yeah.
And he's like, "You want to be part of a men's circle?" And you know what he's like? He doesn't take no for an answer.
Yeah. Yeah. He could talk you into doing some wild shit. That's for sure.
Can you imagine him as a kid? He'd be relentless on his parents. I guarantee you, he was with that kid that was just like, "Can I get ice cream? Can I get ice cream? Can I get ice cream? Can I get ice cream?" Like he would.
Oh, he'd talk them into it.
He would, yeah, and he'd persuade them into why he needed the ice cream.
Oh yeah, like that.
Oh mercy!
He's a natural sales guy.
Yeah.
You know what though? A kid like that, you're just like, they're gonna be just fine.
Yeah.
They're gonna be just fine out there.
I look at our girls, more so Georgia, like her willingness to not give up over something she wants. She is relentless.
Perfect.
It's insane.
Great.
Because then, to some degree, at some point, you just go, "Here, just take it.
Take all the money.
It cost. Just leave me alone."
Take all the money. Yeah. So tired.
Yeah. He just wore me down to a nub.
Yeah.
So I got nothing left. No more stamina.
Whatever, honey.
No mercy.
Yeah.
But yeah, men's circles.
Men's circles. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
It reignited the fire of inspiration.
Yeah. Well, and speaking about the high dream stuff, like I don't think I ever really have done that. I think I've just been someone who's been has a creative mind and sees something in front of me. I've never really taken the time to write it down and prescribe what I want to have happen next. I think with where I want the golf club to go, that's been a little more clear on paper, a little more defined in my head. But where I'm going with this is, I think it was Tuesday after men's circle. I was reflecting with Dan and another gentleman about where I'm at now and where I was, call it 7 or 8 years ago. And this is the life that I wanted, because I wanted some more time for myself. I wanted to spend more time with my family. I wanted to work more local. I wanted to have time for myself to go work out or do all the different things. And it's like, I had, not that I don't reflect and appreciate, but in that moment, I was just like, fuck me. Like, I am so grateful that I get to do, and lucky, that I get to live this balanced life that I have and still be creative and still be expanding on things and be the person that I am. But that all started years and years ago, where I wouldn't say hit rock bottom, but I hit a rough patch. Just like, I need to change what the fuck I'm doing, because this isn't working. I'm skating in sand.
Fuck, can't do that.
No. Dulls the skates and you don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Fuck, the high dream. It's so important to have a bit of a map.
You got to have direction.
Yeah.
Know that the heart is the compass.
Yeah.
Because the heart is your soul.
Mm.
And your soul's always guiding you. It's just, we're bred to use our mind, rational mind, to make decisions instead of the heart.
Yeah. A goal without a plan, Justin, is nothing but a dream. Heard that from Hank Haney, golf instructor.
Really? I actually do believe a plan is essential.
Yeah. Yeah. Whether you apply that to life or business, you have to have some sort of direction of where you want to go. And here's the thing. You have a general plan. Like I just shared about Dan and Ari in your story. It's like men's work probably really wasn't on the docket there, but it was just a byproduct, and so you just go with the flow. So yeah, you have a rough outline of where you want to go, and an itemized list of things you need to accomplish, but the universe is going to show you the next stepping stone. No, we need to go over here. This was a good direction, but we need to go over here, or maybe you go backwards a little bit, but that'll end up moving you forward, so yeah, I guess my point was there, you can't get so fixated on this is, I need to fucking do everything on this plan or else it won't happen. No, just relax a little bit.
It's good you have a plan.
Yeah, but you got to be supple to it.
Deviate a little bit.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah, you got to surrender to what's going to come.
Yeah, I always like seeing those like maps where it's like, you're here, you want to be here, and then it's fucking up and down, and fucking circle maybe around a little bit, and you're gonna get there.
Yeah, it's just a ball of yarn.
Yeah,
it's just fucking all over the place.
You'll get there.
Just tied in knots. Yeah. I don't know why this came up. I don't know if it came out of the circle this week or what it was, but I was thinking about, I feel like I've worked really hard to find balance and control my emotions, navigate them, witness them. And I was trying to reflect on when's the last time I was truly angry. When I got fucking angry and I needed to rage. Whether I spilt milk, spilt the rice, something happened to one of the kids, my wife pissed me off, pissed myself. Like, when's the last time I really got angry? And I think honestly, it's been a long time. I even think about all the COVID shit that we went through. Like, there was definitely angry moments there. That was 4 years ago. But even if, one of the kids triggered me for some reason, like, I feel like I've been very good at navigating, like being able to take a breath in the moment, I described when I dropped Ella off last year, high school. That was more of agitation. I wouldn't say that was anger. That was a moment, but like, yeah, anyway, just something I was reflecting on. What about you?
Yeah, I felt anger this last year. Oh yeah. Yeah. I remember the days perfectly. But 2 years ago, there was a day, I'm not going to say the day, but I ran the fucking mountain, and I just remember fucking screaming. Yeah. And listening to heavy metal music, which I very rarely do, but I used to a lot. And then this year, there was a point where, there were things that I could not control, and that was very challenging. And yeah, I felt immense anger towards somebody, and yeah, I was able to scream in my car again. Grip the fucking steering wheel, and I screamed, fucking leave me alone. And I felt really good afterwards.
I think it's super healthy.
Yeah, I'm a feeler, man.
That's actually a bit of a lie. I think trying to move that couch this morning, some anger. I'm just kidding.
Really?
No. No. To me, actually, this morning was the practice of just surrendering and not letting my mind go that I need to be somewhere else right now. It's like, no, I'm meant to be right here.
Hanging with
my
two friends.
Yes, we're having a laugh. We're fucking around.
Yeah.
Like,
whatever.
The couch needed to be moved regardless. It needed to come out of the house where it was. Found its new home for now. Yep. So to me, I'm actually even right now reflecting on it. It didn't agitate me. I was just kind of like, in the moment. Mm-hmm. That's some maturity. Because years past, but
But
anger, what am I doing here? And then I have a resentment towards you, and then I wouldn't speak to you, and then it's just like this whole thing. It's like,
yeah.
Dude, I remember years ago, it was the off season for turf work, And I would do pretty much anything in the wintertime to make a buck. And so I ended up going, fuck me, all the way down to Oakville to renovate someone's bathroom.
Wow.
I'm not a plumber, I'm not an electrician, I'm not really a tiler, not really anything. It's just a jack of all trades, right? And so
Pretty good at it.
I went and did this for my friend's daughter, and I often wonder sometimes if he gave his daughter, if it was like a fucking loop just to keep me busy. He was getting something out of it for his daughter, but I was making some money off it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, she lived on a third floor. The bathroom was on a third floor of this condo. She had a 3-story condo.
Yeah.
So accessibility was a bit of a challenge. I remember just running up and down those stairs. Like if I ever had a Fitbit on me or something to count steps, insane.
Yeah, that's why you got an ass like Sidney Crosby.
That's right. Yeah, actually, I'm older. Maybe he has an ass like me.
Yeah, that's right.
Right?
Huh. Maybe he's an Eichenberger.
So the point of the story is I was going to, and I don't know the area, right? So dispose garbage and logistics of stuff like that, because there was no room for a bin in her driveway. I had my trailer that I'd have to move and whatever else. Oh, mercy. And the thing is, too, I actually stayed at her place, too, instead of traveling home.
Yeah.
So I would be staying at her place, get up early, and just keep doing this whole song and dance. But I remember driving to a waste center to get rid of this stuff, and based on the information I had online, whatever else, it wasn't the right spot to go to get rid of this garbage. I raged. I was so fucking mad driving down the road and just screaming at God. Yeah. Like, what are you doing to me here? Like, I thankfully wasn't suicidal, but it was dark. Like, I was just so upset and just so tired. I'm, away from my wife and daughter, doing all this for what? Yeah. But I remember just like wringing the steering wheel.
Yeah.
And anybody who would have driven past me would have been like, oh, this young lad needs help.
Yeah.
This person's having an episode. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so funny how I can remember that so clearly.
Oh yeah.
Fuck, I can actually feel it rising inside of me right now.
Anger is very powerful.
Yeah.
It's very powerful. I used to get angry a lot more. Just, I wasn't healthy. I think not being healthy in your body definitely ignites anger because you just can't handle your hormones. And if you're not sleeping well, like, that's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
So, wow, it's so powerful.
Yeah.
But we all go through it.
I heard someone say, I can't remember where I heard this, but the emotion of anger, so it's just an emotion. It's a feeling, sensation. It's more powerful than that of a lower vibe, if you will, like depression, victimhood, and stuff like that, because you want to move through the anger. Like you want to do something with it. You want to change something. Like in that moment, I'm like, I don't fucking like my life right now. Yeah. I want to do something about it. Where potentially, if I'm depressed, oh, woe is me. It's like, do I want to change? Am I just being a suckhole about it all?
You don't know what to do.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh.
There's no hope.
Yeah. That anger is fire. It wants something more. At least for me, that's how it shows up.
Be a driver, for sure.
Yeah.
If you're angry about the world and you're like, fuck, we got to change this,
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck. Like, I was thinking yesterday, Dan, he looks at the news he sometimes gives me updates. I don't look at the fucking news.
You didn't watch the recent debate?
Dude, he was telling me about it. And I'm like, we have fucking children running the country. And nobody's pumped about it. And yet, nobody's doing anything about it. Like, you think you could just do something about it. And it's been years. Like, I don't.
Here's a simple.
20 years.
Here's a simple solution or answer, I think, to it all. You know, people say, you know, the left side, the right side, it's two wings of the same bird sort of thing. Well, guess who the fucking bird is? Society.
Yeah.
Humanity.
It's a reflection of society.
Exactly. So you've
got
that.
Well,
that's
society's.
What it is,
and yeah, it's a total.
If you look at who's, you know, in this presidential debate between Harris and Trump, that is the sample size of what this world is right now.
Yeah.
Right? There's no one in the middle.
It's
right. There's lots of people in the middle. Pardon me, but it's just
all I picture is literally a New York pigeon with two fucking heads, and it's eating itself.
Yeah.
You know.
That's quite the visual.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's insane. This one independent.
What a fucking show, though.
Yeah, and I tuned in.
But that's it.
Because
everybody
it was
loves
entertainment.
Fucking TV.
Because it was entertainment.
It's just fucking entertainment.
But it was so vomit worthy. I turned the channel. I was like, no, I'll just go to watch my Bobby Flay and relax and watch something that's more wholesome. Like. It's ridiculous.
I did a Trump impression the other night for Jess, and fuck, we had a really good time. She thought it was funny.
That's good.
Yeah, it was funny.
Oh man!
Because if you do a Trump impression, you can just say fucking anything. I'm amazing at golf. You know, I practically invented golf. Yeah. Fuck, it's funny. Yeah, the guy's so funny.
He's just the best at everything. Just so egocentric. Life's
a trip.
It's entertaining. This independent journalist I follow on Instagram, she House and Habit is her account, and her name's Jessica, and she's in her.
Love that name.
That's funny. She's in probably mid-40s, and she's got a few teenagers and one 10-year-old. So anyway, she's documenting all this, and she's kind of like capturing the night, and takes a break, and she checks in with her son, who's also watching the debate. This young lad is 10 years old, and there's 3 segments to the story, and he should have been coaching Trump. He's literally breaking down how he's getting triggered, why Kamala was more or less winning because she was just getting him so agitated. This kid is 10 and dissecting all this.
Brilliant.
And, she goes on just to be like, the winner of tonight was my son. Like, how can a 10-year-old with some common sense see all this, and yet the adults in the world that are screaming on the left and screaming on the right can't see it?
Yeah.
It's like, well, maybe because he's been obviously brought up well, but is also kind of a blank mind, right? Like just able to see it with clear vision because hasn't been corrupted yet.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was refreshing to hear and interesting because it's like, wow, this 10-year-old has called all this out beautifully. So
that's so cool.
Yeah.
That's hope.
Yeah.
Let's hope for a brighter future. I think consciousness is, it's leveling up, but it can only level up so much because it takes an individual's drive for a deeper experience of their own life and honest reflection, and that honest reflection not scaring them away from doing more, but giving them or inspiring them to look even deeper and to accept the parts of them that may have, been hard to navigate, or someone told them wasn't, good, or have judgments, and to release all that. Like, it fucking takes time. It takes years. So for us to do that work and pass it on to our children will allow for that consciousness to evolve. And obviously we're in a place where, I don't know how old the presidents are, whatever you call them, but they're old as fuck. That's a very dated way to think,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just being reflected.
Yeah.
And I think I do have hope in the future that the consciousness will evolve. But yeah, it's the whole reason we're doing what we're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I struggle sometimes with the idea of voting, and are you subscribing to a system so you're actually giving your power away by voting? Like, am I actually saying yes, be my daddy and mommy because I'm voting for you?
Yeah.
But I don't think that's how democracy is supposed to work. I don't know. I really struggle with the concept of it all to some degree, because if I don't participate, I feel like I'm being complacent, and now I don't have the right to complain or anything because I didn't participate in the whole thing, right? So I struggle with it all, but
Participation's important.
yeah. I think it's what you do with the information. Like, I don't need to go and follow Pierre and Justin and just fucking lose my mind over it.
No.
Like, it's, do you vote for one of the lesser two evils? Potentially. I don't know. But I think where I go back to it is I think about my grandparents, my grandfather, and other ancestors who would have fought for the right for us to sit on the couch and talk about this shit. Like, I feel like it's super disrespectful to not participate. And it doesn't mean you have to, protest and do all that stuff, but at least in your heart, participate and want better for everything, right? Like, we were talking about these newer generations and stuff, and the woke culture and just the sense of entitlement. Like, these motherfuckers have no idea what it was like to have no running water, no hot water, what it was like to get drafted to go and fight something and fight for you believe in, right? And it's just like, I don't know. I maybe it's my old soul in me, I don't know, but I just, out of respect for those that came before us and paved our roads and fucking plowed our fields and stuff, like, I think there's a sense of responsibility there to honor them.
Well, if you can do something or do nothing, but if you do nothing, don't expect anything to change.
Exactly.
That's how I see it.
Yeah. But yeah, you just need less conniving. But here's the thing too, like, everyone, we're just not patient enough. Like, we're on this earth for a flash of time, and this hierarchy and everything that's going on has been developed over hundreds and thousands of years. Like, the pendulum can't swing back and land exactly where you want it to be. Like, this is not going to heal itself in fucking our lifetime. Mm-hmm. Like, this might be another 100 years before humanity finds center and can listen to each other again, or for the first time.
Yeah.
Right. Like we discussed before, there's a lot of ugly things happening on Earth, but it seems, or at least appears through history, that there's a lot more communication going on these days, and a lot more healthy dialogue to some degree. So things are getting better. And back to your optimism. If you would like to view this life through an optimistic lens, we are shifting consciousness. If you want to be pessimistic and a bitch about it, well then, yeah, it is going.
Yeah, your life is going that way too.
Yeah. Or choose to be optimistic that the like of an RFK Jr. is an honest man and doing what he can, because he's admitted, he's like, I've only got so much time left on Earth. I'm not going to win the independent vote, so I might as well fucking hook my horse up to the guy who's probably potentially going to get in. At least that's where I'm shifted, and maybe I can influence him.
Yeah.
Maybe we surround Trump with more good-hearted people, that
wise people,
Tulsi Gabbard, and all the likes of these people that appear to be good individuals. I'm probably using names you have no idea that exist in politics, but yeah, the shift, as you were saying, it's coming. We just need to be patient, and it's that surrender to everything. It's like, what? That sense of entitlement. You expect your life to fucking be easy and the government's going to fix you. If you have that idea, you're fucked already.
Yeah. And to go back to the lens, how I see life is health and well-being, whether it's your mind or your body, your perception of anything dictates the reality inside your body. So if all this, if you can come to greater peace with yourself through conscious conversation, excavating and exploring the parts of you that have maybe never been seen, and that allows you to have a more loving relationship with yourself and the people in your life, and maybe it shifts your perspective, and you want someone, now that you've become conscious, you recognize others that have maybe a little bit wiser of a perspective and are more conscious, and then you seek and choose those people when you have the opportunity to vote, and that's the shift.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think the tough thing too with voting for a candidate is, if you go too young, they just might not have enough life experience to really understand the ups and downs and be mature enough for the type of position. So you're looking for someone who's still youthful in their mind, but has enough accumulation of experience where they can apply that and support and help, right? So it's a bit of it's interesting. It's interesting.
Wow. I was watching The Office yesterday, or a few days ago. I grew up on it, and it brings back like nostalgia for me. And they're trying to find a new manager, and Ryan plays this like woke young guy, and so his comment was like, we need to just hire someone on the outskirts of society, like a homeless person. And Pam's like, okay, no, Ryan, tell me, be honest, you want a homeless person to be your boss. A homeless person. And it just makes me laugh. Like, fuck, you need someone with fucking life experience,
Yeah.
Fuck, it's so funny. A homeless person.
It's a beautiful thought.
Yeah.
They can get a job, but potentially, depends, but who knows what their resume is like.
Yeah. Get someone that thinks outside the box.
Yeah. Their cardboard box.
Fuck. Well, the truth is, like, if I was to pick a prime minister, it would have to be someone, like, I want someone that's been a fucking carpenter, been is a husband or a wife, has experience maybe as they worked the till at a Tim Hortons when they were in their teen years, like someone that has life experience, has had to communicate, has skills that are dynamic, and is a amazing problem solver. Like, that's what carpentry gave me, an ability to problem solve. And
actually, my father said to me, that's all you're doing all day long is solving problems.
Yeah. So
yeah,
that's what I'd love to see.
But someone who has that level of life experience and understanding doesn't want to do the fucking job. Yeah. But who knows? Maybe that'll shift. You look at someone like Photo there. Like, he's mentioned a couple of times, like, you imagine him being the mayor? A conscious man who has real life work experience, has, done things in his 20s that, we learned from, real estate experience, and just morphed into this man who's, providing amazing space in the community.
He will if he wants to be.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Like, he's actually a good dude.
Yeah. Fuck. It'd be nice for someone to just call themselves out on a bunch of shit. Not themselves, the other people, and just, call a spade, and at the same time have compassion, empathy along the way, and everything else, right?
Ariana wouldn't let him be the mayor. I told him, fuck, he should be the prime minister. And Ariana was like, nope. Fuck no.
Really?
Yeah, I want my man. Yeah.
Your man's in a suit and tie and he's running the country, though.
He's got a fucking whole mission.
Yeah.
You know?
We should sell him on this.
It's not a good wedding present.
Huh?
That's not a very good wedding present.
I'll tell him if I go to the retreat, he's got to run for office.
Yeah. Knowing him, he might win.
Yeah. But it's I think you feel called to that stuff, and obviously there's good-hearted people that probably get into politics for the right reason, and then they get corrupted,
influenced,
blackmailed, corrupted, influenced, blackmailed, same thing, influenced. Yeah. Who knows?
No.
I know it's not for me. There's obviously I have leadership DNA inside of me, but I think I'd rather do that from a grassroots level and support. Yeah. I think I've got too many selfish endeavors I'd like to pursue.
Same.
Because here's the thing, Justin. If we can all learn to govern ourselves and take care of ourselves, we don't need a fucking government.
No.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Nature doesn't have a fucking government. God is the government.
Yeah.
The deer don't have a leader. No. They're just trying to stay away from the predator.
And sometimes the whole forest will burn down for new growth to happen.
Exactly.
Some fucking wipe the table, clean it up.
Because as soon as Mother Earth is tired of the humans, she will erase us all.
Yeah.
That's so she's still happy with us. Like she's for some reason still loving us.
God.
But
we are her.
Yes, correct. So we'll see. But isn't that a beautiful thought? I actually had a lot of lightness come over me there. It's like if we just all took care of ourselves and were responsible for our own beingness, we don't need governance. Because you know what? You're going to have the private contractor who's going to take care of the hydro. Mm-hmm. And it's privatized, so that person needs to put food on the table and get work. So they're going to do a good job. Mm-hmm. They're going to be accountable. They're going to show up when they say they're going to show up. You know, it leans things out.
Oh, absolutely. I think everybody, it's finding something that pushes you to self-responsibility. Adulthood kind of does that because you eventually have to put money on the table. But like my doctor saying, you got to stay on your medication and you can't heal asthma. That was great because he just said, I can't help you any more than I am right now. It's up to you. And then I took full responsibility and said, boom, motherfucker, it's possible. The word impossible says, I'm possible. Boom. So, have
you ever reconnected with that doctor?
Fucking self-responsibility. He's definitely retired. I should.
But he wouldn't even know. Yeah, he should
know me my whole life.
That. He should know that you healed yourself.
He's seen my penis. He touched my balls.
Yeah.
Well, I had a lump on my one testicle.
Oh, did you?
And so I went to...
Well, you haven't shared this in the men's circle before.
Yeah, so I went into no, I haven't shared this with many people. But I went into the doctor's office and I just slipped my balls out of my boxers. And he just like shook his head and was like, Justin, you gotta just pull your boxers down. You're gonna see the whole thing.
Yeah.
Fuck. I'm fine. This is the same doctor, that heard my virginity story, and I was covered in poison ivy simultaneously a few days after, and I thought I had herpes, so I went to the doctor with fucking poison ivy all over my face, my body, everywhere but my genitals, to be honest.
That might have been quite the session if you had herpes all over your...
Well, I told him all about my virginity story, and then he's like, ooh, okay, I see where this is going, and it's okay. You have poison ivy all over your body. Were you camping? And I was like, yeah. Okay, here we go. All good. All good. So him and I share a lot of vulnerability.
Yeah.
So
Oh my gosh.
we should reconnect. Ask him for a coffee. I don't know.
What's the point of this? Take care of yourself.
Just
Be responsible for your own
take
life.
care of yourself. It's consistency. Show up to a men's group. Get a little bit more curious. If you want more depth, the truth is, if you feel like your life is mediocre, it probably is. And it's up to you to change that. And by changing that, you're going to open up the rest of your life to being so expansive and so beautiful, because the relationship that you have is going to be deeper with yourself, and that is going to allow you to have deeper relationship with others, and have more meaningful conversations, live in a more meaningful way, love in a more meaningful way. Yeah, Jesus.
Figure it out. Figure your life out.
Fuck.
Figure it out. Pretend you have no parents, you have no guidance. Just figure it out. Be resourceful. Find a way.
Well, yeah, know that all the wisdom you need is in your heart. And it's a long road, and it's not always fun to do it alone, so find people to go on the journey with.
Yeah. If I may add something too, I was thinking about this the other day when I sent you some topics for what we could discuss. Just the beauty of doing the work. Like, I couldn't imagine my life not doing it. And people that aren't willing to look at their shadows and look in the mirror and go, I need to change things. I need to go for the walk. I need to put down the bag of chips. I need to do X, Y, and Z. Like, I know I should change. Just start, because if not, what was this life for? I think there's a huge sense of responsibility to do the work, and you're cheating yourself. Mm-hmm. And it's not always easy, but it's beautiful. And if we were to circle back to our men's circle, it's like when you see the handful of guys that are in our circle all doing that consciously, it's just like
at all
the
ages.
amount of growth at all ages, at all different timelines on their journey and their path. It's just like, it's what makes this life so fruitful. It just makes it worth it.
Yeah.
It's so,
if you're in a space where you're like, fuck, uncomfortable, just think, in 3 months, if I don't do anything, if I don't change anything, what's it going to look like? And then 6 months, and then a year, and then fucking go 3 years, go 10 years. Really, actually be honest and reflect. If I don't change anything, hey, maybe you'll make a little bit more money. Maybe that'll make you happy if things stay the same. Probably not.
Yeah.
You gotta
do it.
Yeah.
Just do it. What a great slogan.
Do it.
Just do it.
Fuck, dude. That was fun.
Yeah, it was. Let's go patch that drywall.
Thank you for being with us. We love recording these podcasts. If you know anyone who would resonate with today's episode, we would be grateful if you would share it with them. If you have any questions or comments, do not be shy and reach out. We would love to connect with you. Until next time, be well, love yourself, and live consciously.